What an epic battle that was! Well, time to get to work on... what the... You know, I was wondering if I wanted to do something for Easter.
From the first time we saw you, it was such a surprise, and no one could believe their eyes. You were standing in the corner.
So, Baby Huey's Great Easter Adventure. Where do I even begin? Well, let's start with where the character came from, Harvey Comics. It was founded by Alfred Harvey, who published various stories with original characters like Richie Rich and Casper the Friendly Ghosts, along with other established IPs. Baby Huey is among those IPs, and he first appeared in 1950's novel tune Quack-a-Doodle-Doo. Outside of his cartoon shorts and comics since 1952, he was originally intended to appear in Who Framed Roger Rabbit in a deleted scene. He also had his own cartoon series in 1994, which leads us to this movie. It was part of a 12-film slate of direct-to-video productions based on Harvey properties, possibly in the same line that the direct-to-video Casper and Richie Rich movies had. Losing money was probably a given, but what gets me are the names involved in this movie. Director Stephen Furst has worked on various National Lampoon projects, while other figures like Roger Bumpus and John Vernon cut their teeth in adult comedies and such. So how will they square their experience with a cartoon character who beats up on his predators? Let's find out! This is Baby Huey's Great Easter Adventure. It starts with David Lander, playing Bernie, trying to do a trick with this dog.
1 + 1 is 2.
Yay! He does not impress his boss, P.T. Winsaki, played by Joseph Bologna, who definitely is going all out with this.
How can you do this to me? You bring this to the greatest showman in Las Vegas history? This is what you bring to the man who stunned audiences with a horse that could play the Star-Spangled Banner on the saxophone? This is what you bring me!
I guess Harvey Entertainment really wanted actors who would give it their all, even if it's for a Baby Huey movie. We abruptly move to an elementary school where we see kids taking part in Easter activities. One kid, Nick, played by Michael Angarano, is seen walking home until some hatchery truck went by. It accidentally drops a giant egg. What could be inside? Rodon, what are you doing here? At first, we see Nick's parents, played by David Leisure and Maureen McCormick. They're the goofy, middle-class family that are a dime a dozen for family films, and they play the part when Nick introduces his new friend to them.
Hey, come on in! Oh yeah, I guess he needs some clothes, doesn't he?
Well, then we cut over to a baseball game. Stephen Furst is playing a coach, and we get an abridged Air Bud plot where the animal plays for a sports team. Let's see what he looks like. And after whiffing twice, the duck lands a home run.
They got a giant duck playing baseball over at the field.
Quit fooling with me, Irv.
I'm sure you have questions, so let's start with the giant duck. First off, the suit actor is Roger Bumpus, while the voice actor is Stephen Furst. Second, while Huey got his clothes from Nick, I want to know where he found the oversized shirt, Bonnie, and diaper. Did his parents really have all that on hand, or did they have to give him money to buy them? And finally, yes, John Vernon is playing another authority figure in a learning establishment. He was Dean Vernon Wormer in Animal House, while here he's Principal Scotty. Nick wants to make Huey his brother because being around him makes him feel braver. Of course, Huey is totally oblivious to this. He is just being naive and childlike, like in the comics.
Huey! That was fun. Can we do it again? Can I call your folks Mom and Dad?
Sure.
Look, they'll probably overcome their shock and just eat you later. Hell, you're big enough to feed the whole town. I guess to set up something for later, the two kids walk by Dead Man's Gulch. Nick said that no one entering the place has ever escaped, but I don't know. The slope isn't steep enough to trap someone. There is probably another way out, but kids movie, gotta have them claim something is scarier than it is. Here is also where our animal character gets his name.
I got it! Baby Huey!
I like it! I like it!
Huey, yes!
Baby Huey! Oh!
This town will be a crater before long. Meanwhile, after Bernie fails to impress his angry boss with a turtle, they get a call about something big showing up in their part of Bitsville. Speaking of big, Nick and Huey walk around town and naturally get a lot of attention. If this wasn't a movie, I'd just assume it's someone in a giant costume. The suit itself looks fine, but this duck doesn't look like something that would exist in the wild. You did that to yourself. We also learned that this town is preparing for its 100th annual Easter egg hunt. A bit of background hijinks ensues before we're introduced to the pitcher who Huey hit a home run against. This is Audrey, and she's actually impressed with what Huey did. Good on her. But now we get the main theme of this movie.
Can I ever fret like that?
Not in a million years. It's too dangerous. Oh, there's no telling what he might do.
It's a giant baby duck! What's he gonna do? Hug you to death? Don't answer that. But yeah, it's yet another plot about adults freaking out about something unfamiliar or different. PT shows up in a limo, has a very brief encounter with Huey, and then we meet... This is Professor Von Klupp, played by Harvey Korman. And that accent...
Discovered a new species. About 7 foot tall. Wears clothes and walks with humans. It's either a very rare bird who acts like a human or a rare human who acts like a bird.
Anyway, he's a bird collector and he's at odds with Wynn for some reason. But PT is confident that he'll get what he wants.
We're gonna win, Bernie! Do you hear me? We are going to win! Why don't you listen to me when I talk? It hurts my feelings when you don't listen!
Oh hey, I can actually reference Mashal here. Yeah, technically they haven't animated this part yet. At any rate, the boys head home and Nick wants Huey to stay. The parents try figuring out what to feed him and... funny?
You're supposed to hit me back.
Oh.
Oops.
Okay, that was funny. I get more enjoyment from the adult characters, but occasionally Huey does something to get a chuckle out of me. Oh, the pains of having a giant baby duck. Too heavy to climb the ladder to the top bunk, and too heavy to even stay in the lower bunk. At least the parents seem rather patient right now, though how long that lasts is uncertain. Not helping things is that one crabby parent from before, played by Denny Dillon. She totally loses it when she learns that Huey is going to be living here.
He's too big, too strong. He belongs with his own, whatever they are. It's a well-known fact that ducks are dumb animals. He's just too different. He's dangerous.
To think that National Lampoon's Baby Huey would try to teach kids about racism. Seriously, we even get that telephone scene where the lady and her friends spread some nonsense about Huey. Remember when the cartoon was just about a giant baby duck getting into slapstick comedy with those wanting to kill him? I mean, you got the slapstick part, but I don't think you got the social commentary down. So with these rumors floating around, PT wants to capture Huey for his stage show.
What's talent got to do with anything? You don't need talent to be a star in Las Vegas. You just need to be different.
So you're gonna run a freak circus? He even imagines how he'll put Huey to work. Incidentally, at Circus Circus, hi George of the Jungle 2, despite also knowing how Huey can ruin everything. You'd think he'd have a second thought, but no. The novelty of a giant duck is enough to want him. Bernie is concerned that Huey won't take up the offer, but PT doesn't think so.
My friend, I've been looking for you. I want to make you an offer you can't refuse.
Run. Run away and never look back. PT tries to convince baby Huey to take up his deal, but Huey doesn't understand anything and says no. But PT has to hatch a plan involving the Easter egg hunt.
The bird! I must have that bird!
You trying to be like Peter Lorre now?
Ooh, lots of kids. Ooh, lots of fun.
Never take this movie out of context. That just makes him sound creepy. Since Huey can't go to school with Nick, he goes to the playground and plays on his own. This leads to him breaking a swing and landing right in front of the principal.
What are you doing out here? Get back into school.
You sure that's a good idea? Sure enough, more shenanigans ensue, which leads to more things breaking. While this is going on, Bernie sneaks into the schoolyard and plucks some of his feathers.
Ow!
Then in music class, we get a song and dance scene. I never imagined that this movie would be partially a musical, but there you go.
Everybody's looking like they know how to quack, so are you ready? Let's do the duck dance, duck dance, doing the duck.
Well, it's kind of fun, and even the teachers who tried to stop things ended up joining in. But Huey breaks more things as Scotty shows up next.
Has the whole world gone mad?
That should have been in a better movie than this, as is this line.
Round and clumsy. There's no way to go through life, son.
You literally invited him into the school. Nick shouldn't be footing the bill because he's his friend or whatever. This is where Professor Clupp offers Huey a chance to be showcased in Washington, D.C. I guess nobody bats an eye at this because he works in the school. Huey still says no because he goes on about his family life, so the professor tries to inject him with something, but...
One moment.
Actually, that was a fake out, but then Huey finds the needle and drops it on the professor's ass.
Oops. Woo-wee. Studying birds must make you real tired.
Soon the two villains argue over getting in each other's way, as if we needed competition from at least two people after the same duck. The parents get shown the bill, but Nick makes a good point.
Huey was just doing what everyone else was doing. I mean, he's only just bigger.
But Mom's like, we might not be able to afford him. Lady, you let your husband break stuff all the time when he tries to fix them. I think you can afford to feed the giant baby duck. That night, Clupp tries to trick Huey into thinking he's his mother with a cheap disguise.
You're not my mama.
Well, at least they got one of his running gags right. At school, PT and Bernie sneak in to steal the Easter eggs. To make everyone blame Huey, they also planted a lot of his feathers. Sure, Nick could testify that Huey was home with him that day, but then again, if Huey snuck out with Clupp, that might get used against him.
People will blame Huey for ruining Easter. People always blame things on other people who are different.
Way to spell it out for us, PT. Then we get another song.
Phineas T. and Saki, and nobody tells me no. Phineas T. and Saki, I'm bigger than the show.
This is like the opposite of Pippi Longstocking, where instead of the musicals ending halfway through the movie, the musicals start halfway through this movie. I'll give it this. Most of the songs sound catchier than in The Mighty Kong. The next day, people begin wondering where the eggs are. And as the villains planned, everyone suspects Huey.
Huey wouldn't steal anything. Yeah, Huey's a good guy.
Now listen to me, you two little brats. That bird attacked me last night. Just look at me.
1, you were trying to kidnap him. 2, testimony. If Nick and family were watching him, they would know where he was. You all don't want to solve this mystery. You just want an excuse to be racist. Of course, testimony probably doesn't mean much in this part of town with these white-ass conservatives and their backwards-ass thinking.
He practically destroyed the school yesterday.
You deserve that one. Looks like my copy is starting to get all wavy on me. So yeah, even Nick's parents start siding with the other adults, which makes their son upset. Only the kids seem to believe Huey, and they're ready to defend him from the adults shoving garbage in our faces.
More likely because he's a thief and a bully, and he has a weight problem.
Oh, kiss my ass, you stupid duck-hating wench. Nick's mom quickly apologizes for her earlier accusation because...
It doesn't matter that he doesn't look like one of us. Looking like us is overrated.
Of course, it's in this turnaround that the town wants to make up and find Huey. Doesn't matter because he doesn't feel like he belongs.
I don't belong anywhere, and I'm feeling so lonely. Does anyone care?
Didn't expect them to go hard with this one. Seriously, this is pretty depressing, and it's for a dumb giant baby duck.
Why am I so different? 'Cause I walk like you, I talk like you. I don't belong anywhere. I don't belong anywhere.
What? He was asking for it. The villains decide they'll hide the eggs at Dead Man's Gulch before collecting Huey. But Audrey finds the baby duck to tell him that the town welcomes him back. Even a neighbor is willing to testify and clear his name. And then...
No one wants to hurt you, Huey. It's gonna be alright. This is where you belong.
This is where I belong.
So Huey, come on.
I don't know if the musical aspect helps the movie a lot or keeps it on the same level. The talent is there, but it's just weird knowing where it came from.
Oh, thank heavens. I guess I was a little crabby.
More like a little racist. Don't you pull this redemption arc on me now. What happened to the villain subplot? Well, Nick is hanging from a branch at Dead Man's Gulch, so they head there and find him.
Somebody hit the eggs right down here!
I thought the plan was to dump the eggs, not put them aside where a kid could find them. Club tries to throw his net but falls over, without either Huey or Audrey noticing. Either way, the kids get someone to drive this one truck with a crane to save Nick. Huey lowers himself down, saves Nick, the eggs, and then Club. The eggs are returned and everyone is happy, and we learn that Bernie didn't want to dump the eggs because they were pretty.
I say we go to Denver tonight and we check out that pot-bellied pig that skis.
I don't want a pot-bellied pig that skis. I want a 7-foot duck that talks. I even had to make a Huey baby.
Trust me, talking animals like that are never any good. You're better off with the pig. Of course, as everyone prepares for the hunt, PT tells Bernie to drive over the eggs as part of his temper tantrum. Bernie changes his mind and turns at the last moment because he doesn't want to hit Huey, but he ends up hitting him anyway. One time I would do it, since we're almost done. But it's okay, Huey's fine. He wakes up, the two villains are arrested, and we get the Easter egg hunt. Huey ends up finding a giant egg like he was in, and it stands up on its own. Does this mean we'll have another giant baby duck? Will Huey have a sibling?
From the first time we saw you, it was such a surprise, and no one could believe their eyes.
Nope, screw you, baby Huey. You ain't getting jack. Then they play the duck song he sang earlier. Guess this is animated dance ending before that truly became a thing. What a weird-ass movie this was. The National Lampoon people really made this? Well, even if it was mostly actors and some director, I think the movie's tone is set by Harvey Entertainment's. Its attempt to add racial subtext to a character known for slapstick is a bold choice, but it's handled rather poorly. I didn't find it as frustrating as some other bad family comedies, because I did find myself laughing at a few gags here and there. Still, that's not enough for a recommendation. It's harmless like To Catch a Yeti and the like, but not something that is worth watching alone or with friends. Of course, it's probably better than that low-grade dog food I had at that one golf resort. Even airline food tasted better than that.
Dog food? I saw his dog food!
I'm the Media Hunter. Media's my prey, and reviewing them my way.
Doing the duck dance. Doing the duck. Now, my friends, let's gather around. Put your elbows in and you flop them up and down. Now put out your lips and open up your mouth.